he has a very dangerous plan, but it's a very clever plan, but it's still incredibly dangerous. But he's so calm about it. That's what I really like about his character. He has nothing to fear. He doesn't feel fear. He's completely confident about his plan. Yeah. I thought he was one of... Yeah, and I think he was as... Yeah, and by villain terms in this film, he was as good as it got. Like, Emma Frost, I think some people liked her. I thought she was... Yeah, I didn't care about Emma Frost. I didn't really care. I mean, she may have been important to the plot, but really I didn't care. I mean, I was paying more attention. It's like, here's Emma Frost and then here's Charles Xavier. This side is the more important side. Anyway, the thing I really didn't like about Emma Frost is like she was disposed of pretty quickly. Like they make her like this she makes that like a really anxious plot point, like how apparently Charles Xavier cannot read her mind if she's in like her diamond form. She's thrown into prison halfway through the film, so everything gone, and she wasn't even needed most of the time. I mean, all they needed was instructions from her, and then tossed her in the cell, not needed. And then they demonstrated a part where she apparently knew a way of getting out of the cell. I think you could get out of there. You stay there. The other villains, they weren't that good though. I mean, there was one last good villain who I thought did better than Emma Frost though. Even though he had a very small role, he was pretty cool because he was another one of those henchmen that did nothing, but he left an impact. Kind of like Boba Fett. Boba Fett's a good prime example. The guy I'm talking about is Jason Flemyng as Azazel, the teleporting guy, and if there's gonna be a sequel to X-Men First Class, then that points out what's gonna happen between him and Mystique, and know where I'm going. I'm not funny, I know. Anyway, I thought Azazel was really cool. I thought as long as you have and apparently, from what I heard in Wikipedia, I'm an addict to Wikipedia. Don't judge me. Anyway, I thought he was apparently on Wikipedia. He's like a demon or something. That explains why he's red, and then I'm just gonna stop there. I thought he was badass. Didn't do much in the film. He was one of the henchmen who didn't do much, but was badass, and he was on par with Kevin Bacon. The other henchmen, however, the two other ones. Oh God. These two henchmen were like the worst henchmen I've come across in a while. There was Angel. Spoilers, I'm sorry, but by this point I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the film by now, so you should know that there's gonna be some spoilers in this show. I'm reviewing a goddamn film. Shut up. Anyway, there was Angel, one of the mutants that was recruited by Charles Xavier, and she was pretty much a stripper. Maybe that was a good plot point to make her come out of it. Like, we see something, we don't forget that part. She just had like a bit of a silly power. She could fly, she could spit acid, and the good mutants were far more interesting. We'll get to those guys in a minute. But she turned evil in a millisecond. I mean, she was given the choice, like, join my side and become eternal, or stay and perish. You have people who are willing to protect you and keep you and have you accepted into society, and I guess this was put in the comics somewhere, but in a millisecond she jumps to the other side. And by that point in the film, I stopped calling her Angel, and I decided to call her stripper Latino bitch who can fly and spit acid. That's what she is in the film by that point. I mean, she dressed like a bitch as well. but she wasn't. Or she was just a bit of an annoying character. The other character is the one that everyone's been talking about. It was that guy who like could make tornadoes out of his hands. Everyone all over the world who's seen the film, everyone has. Everyone. It's pretty easy to make fun of that guy because does he do anything in the film? No. He doesn't even talk. The whole film, he's pretty much just like this guy in a tuxedo hanging out at the bar, saying nothing, wearing a tuxedo, and then he just all of a sudden makes tornadoes come out of his hands. He throws it at a guy, and then he does that to the mutants. Doesn't even do that much, and he's kind of like Storm. He's able to make frigging tornadoes. This is a plot point that no one's pointed out. He can make frigging tornadoes. Why couldn't he do that to the... Yeah, why didn't he use that? Why didn't Sebastian... Oh, wait, no, it's a bit of an espionage. I forget what I said. But he did... But even if he didn't do that, he's still a completely undeveloped character. What did he do the whole film? He pretty much just like... He was much like that... He was a bit like Mystique, but in the other films, but worse. And he was actually worse than Mystique in the older films. Yeah. And the way, and seriously, he does nothing the whole film. By the way, his name's Riptide. Remember that, because that's the best development you're gonna get, guys. Search up Wikipedia. He was probably more interesting in the comics. Lord knows he wasn't in the film. Then there was one other thing I really didn't like about the film. What was her name? Rose Byrne's character. I don't feel like she did a single thing in the whole film. She was just like a CIA, I don't know, what's the word? Representative for like the mutants. She's supposed to be a love interest for Xavier, I think. But we don't see her with him that much. Or do we? I haven't seen it. This come out quite late about the films. Anyway, I don't remember her being with him that much, and she didn't even seem to be that romantically interested in him. It was a weak romance, to be exact. I mean, could you? Well, at least she wasn't as bad as Riptide or Flying Latino bitch. I'm still gonna call her that, by the way. But don't call me racist. I'm not. It's just something I'm trying to do. It's just one of my desperate attempts for comedy. I'm poor at that. But yeah, I thought Rose Byrne. She wasn't bad. She wasn't good. She didn't leave an impression. She was just there. Move on. Now we should get back to another good part about the film. Beast. I was a big fan of Beast in the show. He was a pretty cool character, and in this film they kind of made him beastly beaster. They just made him Beast, okay? They just made him like a much better Beast. Like, I mean, one of the reasons why he's a better actor, why he was done so well in this film, maybe it was because it was the British actor. I don't know. He was British, by the way, and yeah, I thought this guy did really good. He definitely showed a desire. Like, he really wanted to be accepted into society, and he didn't want to be treated as a freak. But he didn't want to lose what made him special, so he decided to make it normal. And then this shit happens to him, and that's when and I suppose that was something to feel tragic about him.